I must thank our dear Raja Vaiz. He is a personal friend, and very dear to me, and our dear Captain DK Singh ji for such a fine eulogy about me. I can't recognize myself when he says these things. Yes, I have done a few things, but right now I'm with you in my role as a visiting faculty of IMU. When I was a young bacha, inside Mazgon Docks, I started a club called Ahimsa Nirvana. My purpose was to reassign the Army, Navy, Air Force to environmental cleanup so that we don't have this climate change emergency. We have a serious climate change emergency, so when you're talking about business, people talk about the lion, the tiger, and the cheetah, and the poor businessman who's a hare. Every morning, the businessman has to wake up and think, is he going to run as fast as the tiger or the lion, which is Ambani or Adani right now. I can't talk about Tatas. We Parsi Babajis have certain scruples, principles, and a certain way of behavior and ethics. So I started this as a kid, Ahimsa Nirvana, and I made my old pen friend, who was the empress of a small place by the name of Japan. So my pen friend is a person by the name of Empress Michiko of Japan. She still writes small letters to me, and she has now, of course, retired as an empress. Yeah, it's an onerous job to be a knight or a whatever emperor or empress. What little I know of my pen friend is she's good, and we have done wonderful things together. So she was asking me, okay, you have started your fleet of tugs and all that. Now, when are you going to focus on your life's mission? That is total decarbonization of the universe. When are you going to see that the world becomes a safer place? Ahimsa and peace is no longer for the monks, it's meant for everybody. Your non-violence or peace, which starts with your intent, your thoughts, your words and your deeds. You don't react to any violence. Supposing you approach me and say a few mean words, or try to belittle you, oh you bald guy, you this, that, I'll just smile, yeah. मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Non-reaction creates peace. And non-reaction inside an engine's this thing chamber will see that we have got total absolutely non-zero engines. We are sooner or later going to have engines or a form of propulsion which is totally smokeless. That's what brings me to the topic of maritime future. Maritime future, we will not have engines as you know them. Maritime future, as the way I am planning, will have zero fuel. We'll have only hydrogen, which we make ourselves on board with electrolyzers using sea mist. I have been on the team that has made the energy observer, and my energy observer vessel has reached all the way to Thailand. It is totally French, and I think that is the future. Now we have my other friends in Israel who have made an engine called the Aquarius. Aquarius will use fuel. It's a very light engine. It weighs only 10 kilos. So finally we have arrived. We use the fuel to create a electromagnetic current to drive your propeller shaft. That again can last you a very long time and is almost smoke free. So that is the way I see the entire maritime future. No longer will you have very large engines and an engine room full of smoke, oil and grease. You will have a very clean engine room. Just two small fuel cells that work and propel the ship, and you get electrical power from solar energy. My solar energy work has been recognized by some companies like Ambuja Cement, which was asking me to make all their ships solar powered, you know. Only problem we had was with the size of the batteries. You know, when you talk of solar power, the only negative you have got is the weight of the batteries and the size of the batteries that stores it. That also, with my friends all over the world, we will overcome. So I see a future which is totally without the engines as you know it. A lot of smoke, dust, noise, all that will disappear. Then we have got artificial intelligence, which plays a major role. You know, I've got huge papers on this. Yeah, I must mention some AI programs that will help you run the ship. You know, I don't want to bore you guys. I've got a lot of pages, and I have been told strictly 10 minutes. Am I right, Raja? Yeah. How many minutes have I done? I hope I don't want to over this thing. In India itself, we have got a lot of research going on with bio crude. I don't know whether you've heard of this. By the name of Unmukt Urja. Have you heard of that? So that is also the future, and we can use that. As I am talking to you, two large Maersk Line vessels are in a shipyard in Bahrain, undergoing conversion. Again, since I am ex-Maersk and I was a part of their think tank giving all bright ideas, just to win $20,000. You know, shippies can do almost anything to to get money. So what was my bright idea? And I sent it in as a joke. I told Maersk that, sir, ours is a UMS vessel, so we all leave the engine room at 5 o'clock. So please switch off the lights at 5 and switch them on back again at 7:30 in the morning. So all the smart bright guys in Maersk thought कि ये वो पारसी बाबा को अच्छा आइडिया आया है, $20,000 भेज दो. So from that time onwards, they have been in touch with me for bright ideas. Now, what idea I sent as a joke, they actually implemented it, and I think they saved a lot of money. Okay? So sometimes your jokes can bring you a lot of money. So please keep your jokes on, and I feel really embarrassed. I mean, so many intellectual speakers. You know, I heard our dear D.K. Singh ji, then we have got our dear Sharma ji, and the best, our dear Shraddha, you know, with her, क्या बोलते हैं, mustard color sari. Yeah, she has.
To speak about my sari. He said I will speak on technical things. I said no, include sari. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so nowadays I am a simple assistant, the professor in IMU, Mumbai. I take the classes for postgraduates, fourth year students and third year. And I love postgraduates because they are very intellectual. They totally research who's going to be their professor. You know, whatever you have done, if you think it's secret, it is not. Right now, everything about you put your name and 100 details come about you. How you look like, who's your mother, who's your father, who's your wife, how many children do you have, how much do your kids weigh. Okay, and that is why I want to meet our dear Captain Sharma. You know, so everything is there online. Your students want to know you, you want to know your students. Nowadays, I've started an entire practice of asking each and every student to ask me 5 questions during class about all my topics, you know, whether it is ship operations and management or about architecture, which I teach quite well because I built about 8 tugs and I own 2 of them. So I ask my students to constantly question me. Ask me questions. Don't just see that it's a two-way traffic, you know. I will not talk as a professor. You will question me and try to put me to the test. I won't examine you. You examine me whether I am worthy of being your professor. and whether I'm absolutely worthy of teaching you. So fortunately, I've got good students, and sometimes my class ends at approximately 1 o'clock, and by the time I have to request them to leave me, it's about 2:30 or 3. They are not just willing to leave me alone. Sometimes I've not had my lunch, and my wife gets pretty angry with me. Okay, what is happening with you? You know, I said I'm enjoying that exchange between a simple. I'm also learning from them more than what I can teach them. You know, I mean, the questions are fantastic, and I'm very, very lucky that I have a lot of non-male or female students who are brilliant. I always ask them to ask me the maximum questions, you know. So I myself have got 3 daughters, and I think they can rule the universe. My daughters are powerful, and I have my 2 daughters. I'm teaching them football so that they can play football better than any of the players you guys like. I want my daughters to excel and be better than any male around, you know. And I'm teaching them to be I'm not teaching them, I'm encouraging them. They already know what they are. They are empowerment. They are Shakti. So I'm trying to bring that out. And that is why, again, from doing ship repair, shipbuilding, I've done everything that our dear Captain Siddharth has done. All of us have to do a lot of delivery voyages. That is also itself a huge test. In the engine room it is. Engine is totally dead, you have to revive it, you know, so that's a new thing. So now I teach, and that's the way I want to end the last few years of my working life. I want to teach, write books. I've already written books on peace and non-violence, because to me that is the only way we have to live, with total gender equality, being totally secular, you know. Not to believe in religion, but to believe in spirituality, you know. Be as spiritual as you want. I bow personally. I bow in front of every temple, every church, every masjid. Of course, I don't go and sit inside a masjid. Half of them will not like me, you know, because I'm a very cool character, and I have no objection. I love to sit in a fire temple and pray, and that's a little bit about me. I think my 10 minutes are up. So thank you, Raja. Thank you, our dear Captain D.K. Singh ji. You know, Captain is very busy. I'm sure he's sending a tweet to the Prime Minister. So I was totally delighted to meet and hear our dear Saab, you know, Sharma ji. I must invite you to IMU to meet my students. What he says is right about absolute depression. So 10 minutes up, let me take your leave. Thank you very much.